You have had a busy time while I have been away. I believe you witnessed Katie's accident.
Yes, sir. How is she?
Still very unwell, although she was relatively lucky. Katie touched the necklace through a small hole in her glove. Had she actually held the necklace, or worse, put it on, she would have died immediately. Luckily, Professor Snape was able to do enough to prevent a rapid spread of the curse.
Why Snape? Why not Madame Pomfrey?
Professor Snape knows much more about the dark arts than Madame Pomfrey, Harry. But what concerns me now is our lesson. You will remember, I am sure, that we left the tale of Lord Voldemort's beginnings at the point where the handsome muggle Tom Riddle had abandoned his witch wife Merope and returned to his family home in Little Hangleton. Merope was left alone in London, expecting the baby who would one day become Lord Voldemort.
How do you know she was in London, sir?
Because of the evidence of one Caractacus Burke, who, by an odd coincidence, is the founder of the very shop whence came the necklace we have just been discussing.
Yes, we acquired it in curious circumstances. It was bought in by a young witch just before Christmas, many years ago now. She said she needed the gold badly. Well, that much was obvious. Covered in rags and pretty far along. Going to have a baby, see? She said the locket had been Slytherin's. Well, we hear that sort of story all the time. Oh, this was Merlin's, this was. His favourite teapot. But when I looked at it, it had his mark all right. And a few simple spells were enough to tell me the truth. Of course, that made it near enough priceless. She didn't seem to have any idea how much it was worth. Happy to get 10 galleons for it. Best bargain we ever made.
Now, if you would stand, this time we are going to enter my memory. I think you'll find it both rich in detail and satisfactorily accurate. After you, Harry. There I am.
Nice suit.
Good afternoon. My name is Albus Dumbledore. I sent you a letter requesting an appointment, and you very kindly invited me here today.
Oh, yes. Well, then you'd better come into my room. Are you family?
No, I am a teacher, and I have come to offer Tom a place at my school.
What school's this, then?
It's called Hogwarts.
And how come you're interested in Tom?
We believe he's got the qualities we are looking for.
You mean he's won a scholarship? How could he have? He's never entered for one.
Well, his name has been down for our school since birth.
Who registered him? His parents?
This should explain quite a bit.
Oh, I see now. Of course. Oh, may I offer you a glass of gin?
Thank you very much. Now, could you tell me anything about Tom Riddle's history? I think he was born here, in the orphanage.
That's right. I remember it as clear as anything because I just started here myself. New Year's Eve, a bitter cold. Nasty night. This girl, not much older than I was at the time, came staggering up the front steps. Well, she wasn't the first. We took her in, and she had the baby within an hour. And she was dead within another hour.
Did she say anything before she died? Anything about the boy's father, for instance?
I remember she told me, I hope he looks like his papa. And I won't lie, she was right to hope it because she was no beauty. She told me he was to be named Tom for his father, and Marvolo for his grandfather, and that his surname was to be Riddle. And she died soon after that. He's such a funny boy. He was a funny baby, too. He hardly ever cried, you know. And then when he got a little older, he was odd.
Odd? In what way?
He scares the other children.
You mean he is a bully?
I think he must be. There have been incidences with the other children. Nasty things. Billy subs his rabbit. Well, Tom said he didn't do it. And I don't see how he could have done it, but even so, it didn't hang itself from the rafters, did it? On a summer outing, we take him out. You know, once a year to the countryside or to the seaside. Well, Amy Benz and Dennis Bishop were never quite right after it happened. All we ever got out of them was that they'd gone into a cave with Tom Riddle. He swore they just went exploring, and something happened in there, I am sure of it. I suppose you'd like to see him.
Very much.
Tom, you have a visitor. This is Mr. Dumbledore and Dumbledore. He's come to, I'll let him do it.
How do you do, Tom? I am Professor Dumbledore.
You're the doctor, aren't you? She wants me looked at.
No,
Tell the truth!
my name is Professor Dumbledore, and I work at a school called Hogwarts. I have come to offer you a place at our school. Your new school, if you would like to come. It is a school for people with special abilities.
I'm not mad.
Hogwarts is not a place for mad people. Hogwarts is a school of magic.
It's magic what I can do.
What is it that you can do?
I can make things move without touching. I can make animals do what I want without chaining them. I can make bad things happen to people who are mean to me. I can make them hurt if I want to.
You are a wizard, Tom.
Are you a wizard too?
Yes, I am.
Prove it!
If, as I take it, you are accepting my offer to come to Hogwarts,
Of course I
you
am!
will address me as Professor or Sir.
I'm sorry, sir. I meant, please, Professor, could you show me?
I think there's something in your wardrobe trying to get out, Tom. Is there anything in that box you ought not to have?
Yes, I suppose, sir.
You shall return these objects to their respective owners with your apologies. I shall know whether it has been done. Thievery is not tolerated at Hogwarts, Tom. At Hogwarts, we do not only teach you how to use magic, but how to control it.
I haven't got any money.
That is easily remedied. Hogwarts has a special fund for those who require assistance to buy their spell books and robes.
Where do you buy spell books?
In a Diagon Alley. I can help you find everything.
You're coming with me? I don't need you! How do you get to this Diagon Alley, sir?
A leaky cauldron. You will be able to see it, but muggles, non-magical people, will not. Just ask for the bartender, Tom. Easy enough to remember, as he shares your name.
I can speak to snakes too. They'd find me, whisper things. Is that normal for someone like me?
Well, what do you think?
He believed it much quicker than I did. I mean, when you first told him he was a wizard, I didn't believe Hagrid at first when he told me.
Yes, Riddle was perfectly ready to believe he was, to use his own words, special.
Did you know?
Did I know I had just met the most dangerous wizard of all time? No. Although, I will admit I was intrigued by him. His powers, as you heard, were surprisingly well developed for such a young wizard. He was already using magic against other people, to frighten, to punish, to control. The story of the strangled rabbit and the young boy and girl he lured into a cave were most suggestive.
And he was a parcel mouth.
Yes, indeed. a rare ability, and one supposedly connected with the dark arts, but as we both know, there have been good parselmouths as well. In fact, his ability to speak to serpents did not make me nearly as uneasy as his obvious instincts for cruelty, secrecy, and domination. Time is making fools of us again, Harry, but before we part, I want to draw your attention to certain features of the scene we have just witnessed. Firstly, I hope you noticed Riddle's reaction when I mentioned that another shared this first name, Tom. Even then he wished to be different, separate, notorious. As you know, he changed his name within a few years and created the mask of Lord Voldemort. Lastly, I hope you spotted the fact that even back then, Tom Riddle liked to collect trophies, and bear this in mind, Harry, for this, particularly, will be important later. And now, it really is time for bed.